Good morning, folks. How are ya? Hope everybody's doing well out there. We're in the midst of summertime. We've got lots going on, and I'm super excited about this brand new project. This is another collaboration with a YouTube superstar, Johnathon Katz-Moses. And anybody watching me, you obviously know who Johnathan is. If you don't, you definitely need to go check him out. He's just a terrific guy, and I contacted him and he was open to me making a sign for him. So I'm excited about doing this. This one probably is just going to be me. Ryan is out of town for a week or so. This one will probably all be me. But if you guys are not familiar with Johnathan's logo, that's what it looks like.
Not sure.
Super cool logo. I love it. Anyway, I've always really liked his logo, thought it would look really good as a carved sign. So again, something I'm super excited about doing. So I picked out a really special piece of wood for him. I've got it all laid out, but there's something that I wanted to share with you guys. So what I did was I used rapid resizer. If you guys are not familiar, we've done several different videos on rapid resizer and how to use it. Go check out video number 235 on our channel. Hashtag 235. Vicky did a really good tutorial on how to use rapid resizer, but that's the full size. And we got the layout all done. If you guys want to see that, yeah, please. If you guys want to see how to do those transfers, you can just type in inkjet transfer. You can go watch one of our latest videos, number 676, the triple L, and you'll see kind of how to do this transfer. The reason this looks dark through here is once the transfer is done, I put a couple coats of clear gloss on there just to keep this stuff from rubbing off. But here's one thing that is a huge game changer, and I cannot take credit for this. I want to do a little demo. If you guys, for a long time, I used the freezer paper, and that's what these two pieces are. But lately, I've been using label backer stock. These are just our USPS labels. The problem is when you're putting tiles together and you use Scotch tape, no matter how good you put it down, look at that. It doesn't want to stick at all. But watch this. This is incredible. Someone passed this on to me. This is a special tape that is made for a lot of different things like silicone or whatever. I don't even know all the things that it is made for. But this stuff is amazing at sticking to this shiny side of this transfer paper or the freezer paper. So check this out. And I'm going to do one on both sides, or on both stuff, the freezer paper or the check that out. I mean, that is really, it really sticks. And so that means that because what I was doing on that video that I talked about, I was sliding Scotch tape underneath underneath here so it would stick on the back side, and it was just a real pain. So on this particular transfer that I did, you can see I just stuck it together in places with this green tape, and that thing is just super stuck together. You can't hardly get it apart. I could tear it apart, I'm sure. But so this stuff, if you guys do this transfer, we've got this in our Amazon store. Definitely a game changer. Made that putting those tiles together so much easier. It's amazing how good that thing is stuck together. Anyway, that is that. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think it's a great product, and I will be using it from now on. And I really apologize. Whoever sent this to me or sent me the idea for this stuff, thank you so much. I apologize I didn't write it down, but I'm sharing it with you guys. So next we will get out there and we're going to make some sawdust. So stick with us. All right, you guys, let's get to carving. So I've got the layout done. I've drawn all my lines to make sure everything is even top and bottom. I've got a profile bit in my Milwaukee set at about 1/4 of an inch, something like that. I did some test cutting on some scrap pieces. This stuff is super hard. A lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but we're going to get through it. So it seems to cut really consistent, so that's a good thing. It's just really hard. So here we go. Hey guys, all right, so I got the bottom small stuff done. Now I'm going to do the big letters. One thing that and this is advice that I give you guys all the time. If you're having a tough time holding a straight line, then back it off and make it in 2 passes. Well, I got about halfway through this, and that's what I realized was going to work best for me. So I've got it set at 1/8 of an inch. Then I go back at 1/4 of an inch and cut it deeper. This stuff is really hard. So anyway, and my hunch is once I get up into this dark area, my hunch is it's going to be even harder, and maybe it's going to be kind of soft hard. I'm not sure yet, but I want to have as good a line as I can. So I've got my profile bit set at 1/8 of an inch, and then I'll go back and make a second cut at 1/4 of an inch. All right, guys, so that is definitely the best way to go, cutting in two different passes. The other thing about when you're cutting a really hard board like this, if you slow down at all, it's going to burn. I don't care how sharp your bit is, it's going to burn. So you have to keep a steady pace. That's one of the reasons of going two different passes here. You got to keep that router moving, because when you stop, it's going to start to burn immediately. Now, normally that wouldn't be an issue if I'm going to be spraying this background black, because it's all going to be black anyway. But this is going to be power carved, and I want as much natural wood showing as possible. So I want to try and eliminate the burns. Anyway, I'm going to finish up this lettering off camera. Then when we come back, we'll get into the actual KM part of it. So stick with us. Okay, so we got the lettering all done. Now we just have to do the logo, and then we're going to do the line around the outside. So this is all going to be background in here with a 2-inch border all the way around. I think it's going to look pretty cool, but I'm looking forward to having the carving done, because it's this elm is tough work. Anyway, well, that's considering. This is what I do really isn't work. Anyway, let's get going. So I've reset it back to 1/8 of an inch, and then I'll go around 1/4 of an inch on the second cut, which is what I did on the letters. All right, here we go. All right, guys, got all of the wording, lettering done, and now we have to do this border, this line here, which normally I would use a 90-degree for that, but I did some testing, and the 60 actually cuts a little bit better. So I've got the 60 set at about 3/16, and I'll just do a little section of it, then I'll do the rest of it off camera. But I'm going to, again, use my fingers as a guide at trying holding that straight line. On a hard board like this, guys, you could very easily set up a straight edge. However, I'm just gonna stay with freehand here, see how I can do. Here we go. Yeah, I think that actually worked a little better. This was okay, but once I'm using my underside of my fingers riding on that rail, I think it holds a little bit better line. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of this, guys. When I come back, then we'll start on the background. Okay, guys, that is all done. I got the edge done all the way around. Pretty happy with the way that came out with the 60-degree. Now what I want to do is go around with the 1/8 inch spiral upcut. I want to go around all of my lettering, the logo and everything. I don't need it on the edge because I did that. That's got a nice wide cut on it. But I'm going to go around. I've got it set at 3/16. I'm going to go around with this 1/8 inch and just give myself some extra room. This stuff is so hard. You really have to take your time on this. Here we go. All right, guys, so what I realized about halfway through that is I'm going to have to go down a little bit more. I'm going to have to take it down to 1/4 of an inch because I cut that, otherwise it's not going to look right down in that groove. And again, that's all going to be, that's not going to be black. So I'm going to go down to 1/4 of an inch and just go around that whole thing again. Yeah, that should give me a nice flat at the bottom there. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for down in that groove. That looks much better. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to do what I did here with the rest of the letters over here, and we are running long on this video. So hopefully one more video will wrap this thing up. When we come back on the next video, we'll be into the power carving. So what I may do as well is go back with the 1/4 inch spiral upcut and give myself even a little bit more room around those letters and everything, because as hard as this stuff is, when you go to power carving it, if you're not super careful, it's really easy to nick one of those letters, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, I'm going to do that off camera. When we come back on the next video, we will be power carving for sure. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I think this thing is going to come out pretty cool. I like the big wide border on there, and there's going to be a lot of natural elm color on here. So thanks so much for watching. We love you guys. If you need any supplies, don't forget, makeawoodsign.com. And if you have any questions, Eric at makeawoodsign.com. And we have new emails for Vicky and Ryan. Vicky at makeawoodsign.com and Eric and Ryan at makeawoodsign.com. So anyway, all of our emails now are at makeawoodsign.com. So anyway, guys, thanks so much. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.